to do and how to find their walk of life, right? Their career path.
Hello, hi, thanks. My name is Peter. In fact, I graduated at school exactly 15 years ago, so it's really nice for me to be here again after those times. In fact, as I remember, at the moment of graduation, 15 years ago, after the graduation, we went for a party with my class and with my friends. And as I remember, at that party, I had to leave a little bit sooner than I thought, because of the very next day I started my first job. It was 15 years ago, and for next 15 years I was active at the job market, and the general part of my experience was connected with looking for young people who would like to start their journey at the job market, recruiting them, training them, promoting. Some of them got fired, but it wasn't my fault. So that's what I've been doing for the last 15 years. And that experience gave me a law to come here today in front of you and tell you a little bit about what a job market is currently, right now, and what qualities it requires for you to have when you want to step in. So my presentation would be short, and my presentation would be at some point very general, because I want you to have a big picture. But from the other hand, it will be so detailed that each one of you could make a better decision about your future, because I didn't want to build too much pressure on you, but on the very few months, you will be standing in front of one of the most important decisions of your life. Decision which would shape your nearest future. So that's a very important decision, and I'm really glad that this school organized that meeting, because we all want you to have as much information as you need to get that information and to get that decision to become clearly for you, okay? So, let's go. Okay, going back to the job market, I want you to tell you about the business. What business is, a real business. So, the business is a game. It's a game about having more quality than your competition. You do it by having a good product or service better than your competition. That's how you win business. You also win business by having a bigger margin, which means that you earn more than your competition on selling those products or services. That's how business works. But the most important thing, which manage all that project and all that flow of goods and services in business, are human resources, are people who are better than competition. And every company on this earth, when it's looking at the job market, is looking for the best candidates, for candidates who has qualities better than any other guys. So you can have the most beautiful stadium in the world and the biggest group of fans, but when you don't have a proper guys, you will not win. That's how business works. So I want you to realize and to remember for the rest of this presentation that each company is looking for the best people on the job market. And let's find out what qualities are required. So when we are looking for new employees at the job market, we are doing the recruitment process. And I hope you know this guy. You know this guy. His name is Will. He's a good friend of mine. And he will tell you, and he will show you what a recruitment process looks like. So let's find out.
You're late. Sit down. My name is Zed. You're all here because you're the best of the best. Marines, Air Force, Navy SEALs, Army Rangers, NYPD. And we're looking for one of you. Just one. What will follow is a series of simple tests for motor skills, concentration, stamina. I see we have a question.
Yeah, I'm sorry, maybe you already answered this, but why exactly are we here?
Son?
Second Lieutenant Jake Jensen, West Point, graduate with honors. We're here because you're looking for the best of the best of the best, sir.
Okay, let's get going.
Down on this?
Okay, so that's how recruitment process looks like. It's really nice to see you. Bye. Okay, guys, so that was a really fun example of how it really looks like. Let's go to that scene and let's talk about it a little bit more. So in the recruitment process, it's all about your qualities. We, as a business, look at you as candidates, and doing those, looking at your applications, we are looking for qualities which are different than a bigger group of people, as special qualities. That's what we're looking for. It's all about competition, to compete, to play with other players and try to beat them, try to win a job position in that case. That's what it's all about. What you see here, it's not the last piece of pizza on the plate. It's how I imagine qualities in a job market. You see that gray circle. That gray circle is it's a job market in general, with all the qualities. Like you are sitting here all in this class, you all have some qualities, very similar. But there is a group of people, a really small group of people, and that's this golden part of it represents, who has some qualities which are better than any other. And when you are going to the job market and you look for a job, your job is to get to that golden part, to have qualities that are better than your competition. So, could you guys please tell me that scene with our friend Will, on that room that you saw, there were 6 guys. Could you please tell me what qualities were similar for all of them? What qualities all of them had? Come on, guys.
They were trying to write some stuff on their legs.
Yes, but the qualities, they were what? They were, for example, men, right?
They were men, military men.
military exactly. They had the same basic requirements. They were from military. They were guys. They were in a very similar age. They even looked very similar. And they all wanted to get a job. So those qualities represent that gray circle. All of them had it. And who win? Will.
Yeah.
Why?
Because he did something different despite, he didn't like write everything on his legs, he just got the table.
Correct.
He uses problem-solving skills to bring the table over to him and have a nice writing place.
Exactly. So, as you see, the test wasn't the test at all. It was the ability to use all given tools to solve the problem. And that was the test, not the test itself. And that's what we as a business, we do when we look for you. We are looking for people who has qualities better than any others. And now let's find out how it changed for the last 30 years. Because as I said, I prepared this presentation for Polish audience. That's why I want to talk about the last 30 years of Polish history of our job market. But I think some of you from some countries would find some similarities. So let's. In 1989, in Poland, we changed from a communistic country into democratic one. From the economy based on general rules, we started to have a free market. It changed a lot because till 1989 in Poland we didn't have much. We all looked very similar, we wear the same clothes, our apartments look exactly the same because we all have the same furniture, we play with the same toys, and we spend free time exactly in the same way. In 1989, 1980, 1989, 1991, everything changed. Free market appeared in Poland. Our market were open for Western companies, and it all changed. We could change our way of life. We could, if we only had money, we could do a lot of more things than we couldn't in the past. So we all wanted to have money, we all wanted to work. So the general ability on the job market at that time was will. We all wanted to work, all of us. And who got the best positions in 1990s? Those who graduated best universities. Because Western companies were looking for people and all of them wanted to work, but only few of them graduated the best universities. So they knew languages like English. They knew how to manage a personal computer. And they knew how to act. So Western companies were looking for those people and hired those people. So rest of job market noticed that only people who graduated got best jobs. So what happened next, for next decade? All of those people went to universities. And the quality which was special in the 90s became common in next decades. All of them had a graduation from universities. And business wasn't looking for that anymore. At that moment we looked for something else, something which only few had. And that was experience. So at the moment I graduated the school, all of my friends decided to go to university. Because that's what parents told them. Because that's how their parents' job market looked like 10 years before or 15 years before. So they all went to university. And only few went to do a job. a real job, and that then they gain experience, and then promoted, they got better jobs and better positions, while all of their friends went to university. So the big question is, guys, at the moment you graduate your high school and you decide what to do with your future, what qualities will be common and what qualities will be special? And we'll find out today. If you look at that slide, you should notice two things. First is something which was very special some time ago became common, and it's not that special. Some other qualities became special. That's the first thing. And the second thing you should remember about that moment of this presentation is the fact that your older friends, your brothers and sisters who are older than you, or your parents or your grandparents, they have their own experience from their own past when they were going to the job market for the first time. And their experience is shaping their opinion about job market, which may be really different than what it is today. Okay, so remember about it from that point of presentation. So, if you ask me what qualities are required today and what qualities are special today for business, I would say that some time ago we experienced worldwide, in the whole world, we experienced appearance of something which changed everything. And now I want to present you that thing which changed everything. Do you know what it is? Is that mobile phone? No, it's not. What is it, guys? It's not iPhone. What is it? Is it a phone? It's not. Is it a smartphone? No, it's not. We are not mistaken, guys. Drug? Yeah, some kind of. It's not a phone, it's not a device. It's a tool, kind of, yeah. Yeah. So you guys, it's not a phone. We all call it phone, we all call it smartphone, cell phone, but it's not. And in fact, this device is your own personal, calibrated form of dopamine. Do you know what it is? We have guys from chemical biology classes here? Yeah? Okay. Do you know what dopamine is? A dopamine is a hormone. Dopamine is a hormone which flows through your brain every time you get the reward. For example, when you are taking a test in a class and you got the best, and you get A, and it's the best result in the whole class, and you all know that feeling. I know maybe not all of you got A on the test, but for example, when you score a goal, when you play with your friends in football and you score a goal, that excitement, that weird feeling in your belly, that's how dopamine works. So every time you feel attracted to someone, you fall in love. You score a goal when you play a football. Every time you got A on the test. And of course, I know you can do it, but when you were young adult, every time you drink alcohol, it's always a dopamine which flows through your brain. It's also when you gamble. Every time you get reward for something you do, dopamine flows through your brain. And it's really nice feeling. It's nothing bad with dopamine at all. But the problem is that When you score a goal when you play football, it's not 100% your decision to do it. Many things happened for you to score, and it wasn't that obvious. It wasn't obvious to get A+ on a test. So when you get it, you feel excited. But problem with the device, you saw a second ago, is that you have a full control when you use it and how you use it. And that's the problem with this device. So smartphones are very smart. They are named because of that, because they are smart. The way they look, the way they walk, it's all focused on you to use it as much as it's possible. That's why when you wake up in the morning, that's the first thing you reach for. When you go to your bed, that's the last thing you touch before you go to sleep. In fact, we all experience problems with sleeping. It's a sleep deprivation. It happens because a light generated by phones is very similar to the natural light, and that's why our brains think it's day. So when you have to study during the night and you feel a little sleepy, don't drink coffee. You know what works better? Your smartphone. Just scroll through Instagram and Facebook, and after a few moments, you will be awakened because your brain thinks it's the middle of the day. So, smartphone has many features which make it addictable to you, but the most important one, which make you more addictable to smartphones, are social media. Why? Because when you post a picture on Instagram or Facebook and you hear the notifications that you got more likes, you feel that weird, nice feeling on your belly. That's when dopamine kicks. And that's what's addictable for you. You use it more and more because you are addicted to that feeling. You are addicted to dopamine. And why I'm talking about today? Because your addiction to smartphones change your qualities on the job market. I could think about many qualities which are growing worse and worse every year because of smartphones, but I want to talk about three of them which are the most important. So social media is a problematic because it shows you a world which doesn't exist. And you look at it all day, sometimes all night, and you think that how the world looks like, but it's not. You compare yourself to those people you look at on Instagram and Facebook, and you feel worse about yourself. The second thing is disability to build strong relations with others. Do you have sometimes that feeling that you talk with someone on WhatsApp or Messenger and you can talk all night long, but when you meet in person, you can't? And this ability to build relation with other human is the biggest problem on the job market right now. Young people, they don't know how to do it. It might sound so simple, but it's not, trust me. They come to me with the best diplomas, with A's on their graduation papers. Some of them come with some experience. But when we hire them and they start to work, they can't connect with other people. And business is all about people. It's about you connecting with your bosses. It's all you connected with your friends from work. And most importantly, you are connected with your customers. And if you cannot do it, you don't do your job. So guys, when I think about 2021, 2022, when you will be thinking about your future in the job market, about your dream job and about your dreams and about your future, and you ask me what qualities would be required, I will tell you that the role that requires you must have is three things. The most important one is ability to look for information, something we don't know how to do. If we need to look for something, we Google it, and we have it on the very next second. When we watched an episode of of the movie, and we want to watch another one, we just click another one. We don't look for information anymore. We have it. We don't have ability to look for information. That's the second thing. The first thing is we are not consequent. We really fast. At the very beginning, when the first thing we see, the first problem we face, we quit. And that's another problem. So guys, smartphones, which we all have in our pockets, disable us in three most important aspects. Relation with other human, with other person, ability to look for information, we don't know how to do it, and we don't have a consequence. And those three abilities would be a golden rule in the moment you go into job market. Because the problem we all have with dopamine is worldwide. So it doesn't matter if we are talking about Poland, Hungary, Italy, it all works the same. So, in 2021, in the moment when you're gonna get into the job market, all of your friends who would try to get your dream job would have some experience, a direct experience, or direct graduation. They all have it. They will all have it. But the question is, what you will have, which will be special for a recruiter. So, what I want to ask you about is to think about your relation with smartphone and about those three abilities which I talked about. Do you think you know how to build relation with another person? Do you know how to look for information? And do you have a consequence? Because those will be a golden rule in the future job market. Because, okay, some of you would go to the best universities, for example, you will be a high qualified IT specialist. Of course you will, but at the end of the day, you will be placed in a room with Will Smith and their friends. I'm talking about that at some point of recruitment process, you will be sitting in one room with 6 other guys who also be a high qualified IT specialist, the best of the best of the best of the best. And who would turn the table at them? Those who have those three abilities. Yeah, I also wanted to talk to you about your parents, because I guess some of you have a little bit pressure from your parents about your future decisions. Some of you may hear from your parents, you should go to the best university, because it worked for me, so it worked for you as well, to go to university. Some of your parents say, don't go there, start a company, because that worked for me, so it will work for you. But remember that your parents had their own experience from the past. They didn't have cell phones when they were teenagers. They had abilities you don't have. So think about it when you will be thinking about your future, guys. At some point of your life, you will end up in that room And the question is, who would turn the table? And I really wish you would turn the table. To do that, you must have something rest of them don't have. So the most important one is to build a relation. The second one is looking for information, and the third one is consequence. Yes, it's consequence. It's like when you decide to do it today, you do it for 100 days in a row. That's what young people don't do anymore. So that's the third ability. So if you don't have it, you will lose on the job market. If you have it, you will win. Thank you. It's that simple. It's that simple and it's not. It's, for example, when you go into a room, like I did today, I stepped into a room with a lot of people I don't know, and in a few minutes I have to step in front of you and do a presentation. You know what I felt inside? I wasn't that brave. I felt uncomfortable. I felt uncomfortable when I walked in here. And you know what I did? I took my phone and I looked at it. Because I know I can hide. Because I know I can look at it. I can look at the pictures of my kid or my wife. Or I can scroll through Instagram. And that nice feeling is appearing in my body. When you understand it works like that, you will notice how often it works during the day. Every time you look at Instagram or Facebook, or you got notification that someone liked your picture, you got the same feeling. Okay.
Differences such as being tolerant, patient, right, being able to communicate, to cooperate. We try to get some critical thinking, right, creative problem solving, stuff like that. Is it of any value on the job market right now?
Yes, it is. But the most important, the basics, the very basis, are those three qualities I talk about. Ability to look for information, ability to build relation with another person. Without that, even soft or hard skills would be useless. Because you won't be hired, because you will be replaced by a person who has those basics. So that's how it works.